Man United confirmed sacking of David Moyes from 22nd of April 2014. These rumours were actually coming out on the afternoon that I was at in celebration of the 96, and it was hilarious to hear. And I was thinking to myself, oh God, please don't let it be true. Because Moyes has been the gift that keeps giving. But the club would like to place on record its thanks for the hard work, honesty and integrity he brought to the role, United confirmed in a short statement. The news came less than 48 hours after United lost 2-0 to Everton, making it mathematically impossible for them to qualify for the Champions League for the 2014-2015 season. I repeat, mathematically impossible to qualify for the Champions League. What was it, Gezzie? Mathematically impossible. Yes, there we go. Couple random was strike one. But it's one of them ones. But do have to say it's one of them ones where in a season for Man United fans, which has been nothing but 5 stars. Minus 5 stars. In a season which has been that, it's compounded by Moyes arrived at Man United's training ground in Carrington on Tuesday morning, where he was informed of the news by Chief Executive Ed Woodward. You know what? For me, it's a case of Ed Woodward kind of cost him his job in a way. But I'll come on to that in a second. Louis van Gaal was the favourite to take over, but that's rumours right now. LMA critical over David Moyes' exit from Man United. The League Managers Association issued a statement describing the manner of David Moyes' departure from Man United as unprofessional. Moyes was officially sacked on Tuesday morning, but his imminent demise was being widely reported 24 hours earlier, to the consternation of LMA Chief Executive Richard Bevan. He said the LMA is very disappointed with the nature of David's departure from Man United, and to read extensive reports in the press confirming David's sacking before David himself had been spoken to officially by the club. Throughout his time at United, David, as he always does, has conducted himself with integrity and professionalism, values that he believes in and that have been strongly associated with the club and its rich tradition. It is therefore sad to see the end of David's tenure at United being handled in such an unprofessional manner. So Alex Ferguson has said the man who chose David Moyes for the job and made him basically Alex Ferguson's role in getting Moyes the job was making him the chosen one, like Jeff Jarrett in '99 in WCW, OWR right there. But Alex Ferguson broke his silence over David Moyes sacking at Man United, admitting it was upsetting the way it was handled. It's one of them ones. Ferguson, who played a big part in choosing Moyes as his successor, admitted it was wrong that the news leaked out before Moyes was officially told of his fate by Man United Chief Executive Ed Woodward. Speaking at a charity lunch in Manchester on Thursday, Ferguson was quoted as saying, "It's upsetting the way it came out." Apparently, United acted within the stock market rules over the departure of Moyes, but apparently Ferguson's going to help pick Man United's next manager. So Alex Ferguson will be asked for his view on who should replace David Moyes as manager of Man United, despite his apparent error in judgment, picking Moyes in the first place. Now that's a funny one actually. Yeah. But apparently, one United source said the board started worrying about Moyes' capabilities during the 2-0 defeat to Olympiacos, where Joel Campbell scored. The players didn't look up for it, one source said. Once more lackluster performances followed, the source added Moyes had to go. Now, you know what, yeah? Congratulations, I've been waiting all week to say this. Congratulations to Man United for falling into the same category as Chelsea. Short-termism. Short-termism has reigned supreme, and you've given into public pressure. That's one side of my thoughts on this.
Wow.
The other side of my thoughts on this are, you know what? I can kind of understand why. Because it has hurt Man United hugely financially. Remember that it's one of them ones. Remember that remember that pitch talk push point that we released and we obviously discussed on the show, where United in 1 month had £250 million chalked off their New York Stock Exchange value. Yeah. That is massive. Plus, there's another 50 million plus worth of revenue you're not going to be getting next season from not being in the Champions League at all. Absolutely. So let's round that up to £300 million worth of lost revenue over one season. We're not talking 10, 20 million. We're talking 300 million, around that ballpark, in terms of lost revenue.
Yeah.
And
don't forget, forget now you've got the season tickets that are being cancelled.
Yeah.
Or have been cancelled already.
The fan unrest as well, which, I need you to get there. Why am I using my hand as a mic when I've got a mic in front of me? We need you to support the next manager. Yeah, Man United fans really did that on a general basis. But anyway, I said a huge part of me can understand why that termination had to be done. Because at the end of the day, football clubs are ran like businesses, extremely badly run businesses, but businesses nonetheless. But the fact of the matter is, looking even deeper than that, the fact is, you got to remember the New York Stock Exchange flotation, half of any money made off that is servicing the Glazers' debts. So if they're losing hundreds of millions of pounds off the stock exchange value, they're not. I don't think they're even thinking about, this is hurting the club and their coffers. I think the Glazers are thinking about, this is hurting our pocket. So that would be where part of me would understand it, part of me wouldn't. But in footballing terms, Man United, in the words of Dave Meir, aka Mearsey, at Mearsey on Twitter, in the words of Mearsey's blog, the Glazers bottled it. For me. As a United supporter, I'd like to hear your view on it.
I'd say yes and no. As you rightly pointed out, David Moyes has been a gift to absolutely everybody else.
It's been the gift that keeps on giving this season. It's been 10 months of hilarity.
Everybody else in the Premier League,
yeah.
he's been an absolute gift, which is why Paddy Power had that statue outside Anfield of David Moyes. But no,
and it was the Moyes curse that cost us on Sunday.
Being very, very serious about this for a minute, okay?
Lads.
If I can be serious if I can be serious for a moment, and put the jokes aside, I totally see where this move has come from. It's not similar to, say, a Chris Shootin at Norwich. It's not the same thing. We're not talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
Essentially, the targets are very, very different. As you said, the season was over before it even started.
Yeah, and he missed a lot of targets. He missed a hell of a lot
Crucial
of targets,
right? I was saying this to a lot of my other Man United friends, especially some friends at work, right? And I said, look, for David Moyes, my objectives for him this season isn't to win the league. That's a step too far, okay? But this is a team that won the league last season, okay? Top 4, right? 1 cup, right? Initially, that was the target, to do both, 1 cup and top 4. Yep. If you miss out on the cup, still give me top 4, and I will say it will suffice.
Ease it up, yeah.
But to be where they are, okay, based on essentially his management. And that's what it comes down to. Mm-hmm. It's not good enough. That legitimately is not good enough, okay, for the guy that's supposed to be taking over. Now,
but then would you say that the mistake was made 10 months ago in hiring him in the first place?
I would, because
you were always a little unsure about it, but it was given time.
No. The thing that I said about it was this, right? And you laughed at me at the time, and essentially my point has come all the way around in a complete circle now. I said,
nice little ellipse.
I know. I see what you've done.
Nice little ellipse.
But no, seriously, the whole point has come all the way back around. I said Manchester United need to continue to be winning trophies. Okay, so they need a manager, whether it's short-termism or not, who's going to come in to continue to do that because of the financial impact. It's the most important thing. Yeah. That's why I was beating a very, very big drum for Jose Mourinho, and that's on record. Go back and check the older podcast because I said it, and I even said it in the middle. I said if we had Jose Mourinho, totally different. Totally different. You probably even see a deal where Cristiano Ronaldo comes back.
Oh, I don't know about that. That would have been pure speculation. But would you say? Because I've said in terms of Moyes with exactly the same team, plus 2 reinforcements, as Ferguson had last year, and yet winning the league on a canter, 7th. Huge difference.
Yeah, massive.
Fact of the matter is, I would say, in my view, and a great manager can do great things with an average team.
Yes.
But an average manager will always get found out. Would you agree with that? And would you say that's a fair assessment of Ferguson v Moyes?
Absolutely. I agree with that 10 million% in that you can see the dearth in quality between one and the other. Absolutely. I think
they're working with the same tools.
I think he totally underestimated the magnitude and the importance of the job.
Moyes or Ferguson?
Moyes.
Because Ferguson, well, I would say I would levy that criticism at Ferguson as well, because he was Ferguson's chosen one.
Yeah, he was.
And Man United went with that recommendation as well.
Yeah,
so
they
they must have underestimated it as well because of what Ferguson did the season before.
Well,
I would see it as Ferguson's and Man United's fault for hiring Moyes in the first place.
Well, the thing is, right, you're looking at essentially, the same team. Right,
Yeah.
the team hasn't changed. As you said, it's one or two additions that if you're being honest, both of them really underperformed anyway. So, what happened to that team other than David Moyes? It has to be what the G-Man coined as the #Moyes effect. Has to be.
Yeah.
There's nothing else, right? There was a report that came out the other day from Manny Mullenstein, and he says, "Look, David Moyes never listened to any of the advice that we gave him. On top of that, he got rid of all of the staff that were there at the beginning anyway, which for me was the wrong move. I've even said that on previous podcasts. I'm like, listen, you're new here, yeah?
Yeah.
Learn the ropes first, right? If anything, use the staff that are there that have been part of this winning mentality that's not been there for 5 minutes. It's been there for years." Okay, you can slowly bring in your own guys, but at the beginning, okay, listen to what they have to say. They've been doing this. Okay, if you've come in on a track record where you've got trophies coming out of your ears, and any other orifice that you want to have a trophy come out of, then
there's one orifice I would be concerned if a trophy is coming out.
Then fair enough. Fair enough. Like, if it was, say, for example, Jose Mourinho coming in, right? And I use that example because he was my personal chosen one, okay? If he's coming in, yeah, he can go and change up the coaching staff because he's got a track record of winning stuff. That's what he does. He wins,
Yeah.
all over the globe. So I'm like this, right? If it was him, fair enough. But you're not Jose Mourinho. You're not coming in with that proven record, okay? You've got coaching staff that know the players better than you do, okay? Know the club better than you do. Listen to those people. They're the best resource you have. But instead, you throw them all out, okay? And you bring in your assistant and Phil Neville.
But we changed too much too soon, yes.
Which is exactly what I said. I said that. I said he changed far too much too soon.
I know, but I think that's only a small part of it. Because at the end of the day, you look at a lot of people at the beginning of the season would say, well, with the change in chairman as well, Ed Woodward didn't have the time to get his feet under the desk, get himself settled, and then start doing what who was your chairman before? David Gill used to do.
Yeah.
So that I think hamstrung Moyes as well.
A little bit, but then at the same time, I'm like, look, it's the same team, bar one or two additions, where essentially for all good that they've done. And, this is kind of what happened. You can take them, put them outside Old Trafford for all the effectiveness that they did, because did they play on Saturday?
Yeah.
No, they didn't. So I'm like this. I'm like, well, if it's the same team, right, that top 4 goal that I set you personally is really not that unattainable. It's really not.
No.
Right? And when you look at some of the performances, they were totally abject. Okay? This is a group of players that have been playing together for years that looks like strangers. And the only thing that it comes down to for me personally is you've decided, right, this team's going to play this way no matter what. There's not going to be a players meeting where they sit down and they say, look, you know what, we're really not comfortable with the tactics. If we do it like this, we really feel like we can go on the run.
Yeah.
Even if that did happen, you ignored it anyway. You're like, no, I want you to do it like this. Which is totally foreign to anything that Manchester United were doing in the first place.
Yeah.
So I'm like, look, at the end of the day, when you look at the run of results, okay, when you look at what the ultimatum was for him, and I honestly feel like he wasn't asked to win the league. He was actually asked to finish top 4, possibly win a cup, right? He failed at that miserably, okay? Loses to Everton.
What did he do?
He failed it miserably.
What did he do?
Failed it miserably.
Failed
miserably.
And because of him failing, what happened?
Sean, you're fired. The only thing you're going to be singing is the blues.
Moyes.
Take your leave. Read my lips.
Moyes.
You're fired.
And he deserved it. No, absolutely he deserved it. A lot of people say, oh, it's knee-jerk, it's not classy, it's this, that, and the other, right? But this is the part where I'm actually going to, this is the part where I quote T-Pain, okay? I talk money, let's talk that. Right,
and going to say you're in love with a stripper. Yeah. Hey, that's T-Pain.
There was this one time in New Orleans. Anyway, Shout out to Bourbon Street, yo. Shout out to Acme's. One of the best seafood joints at all of Bourbon Street. That's all I'm saying. Love me some Acme's. If you ever in NOLA, ever down by Bourbon Street, go to Acme's, tell them I sent you. That's all I'm saying.
Mate, with lines like that, Gezzie's going to end up with stories like this.
This girl sent me this picture of a little baby. And it was in a town that I'd never been in before.
You're going to end up getting stories like this.
And she sent me this picture. She said,
Gezzie,
this is your baby. And the baby looked like a pigeon with a spiked hairdo.
Swear to God.
I swear to God. I told her that ain't my baby. And she said, no, but you was there with me. You remember that night.
Gezzie's going to end up getting stories like that.
That's only if I'm back in Bourbon Street. That's what I'm saying.
Also, according to rumors, Wilfred Zaha may end up with a story like that.
Stop it.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
David Moyes
This is just all off the top of my head, man.
But no. Seriously though, right? I feel that he grossly underperformed. It was deserved. I really don't think there were any other alternatives, because when you look at the performances, you can say that the dressing room was lost. It was lost. This is not the same team from just 12 months ago. And the only thing that legitimately is different about that team, bar those 1 or 2 additions, is David Moyes. That's the only thing.
And that's not a positive difference.
No, it's not. So in my opinion, he had to go. He could not stay any longer.
You gotta go,
right?
Moyes, you gotta go.
And as I say, when we're talking about money, you're talking about minus 300 million, not minus 5 stars, minus 300 million.
Oh, I was gonna say, because Man United's season has been minus 5 stars.
Literally, right? So I'm just like, well, as a team, as a company, as a brand, Manchester United cannot afford. Let me repeat that. Cannot afford, okay, for anything like that to happen whatsoever. So he had to go. Yeah. Now, who's going to replace him is a different matter.
Yeah. Who would you want to replace him that's on the market at the moment? Because Van Gaal's being linked.
On the market? Well, this is the thing. It's like, who's actually in the market apart from Van Gaal? Because he's a legit free agent, right? Or after the World Cup anyway. Everybody else, there's got to be some kind of compensation package and all the rest of it, right? Now...
Is it worth that risk? Though?
I think for the fact that you've already lost 300 million, for the chance to try and make back some of that, I would say absolutely. I really don't see another way to go. I don't think it's possible.
All I can say is that joke is terrible. Whoever said that joke, you got to put your name 07535804466. If you're gonna text it, you got to put your name.
Are we sure that's not Big T?
Well, all I can say, where that does sound like a Big T joke. That does sound like a Big T joke.
Literally, going back to the Man United point, very similar to that joke in that
you had your chance and you blew it.
And literally, they can't afford...
You blew it like Jenna Jameson on one of those tapes.
Oh my goodness.
Couple right on the strike one.
Oh my goodness.
All I can say is... Moyes! You got in sacked. Moyesy! You flopped to United. Sucker! Moyesy! You flopped.
And he did. He absolutely did. He did flop. Very, very hard. He flopped very,
I might
very
do
hard.
that. I might have to do that again.
Oh my goodness. No, he did flop. He flopped hard. And at the end of the day...
How did he flop?
Hard. It's really...
I didn't know flop and hard could be used in the same sentence, but congratulations.
Oh my goodness.
Congratulations on that.
Oh my goodness.
Big T, you probably enjoyed it.
Seriously though, in terms of who I would want, if we're going to go long term and have a little bit of patience and really try and build something, Jurgen Klopp.
But the question with him is, why is he going to leave Dortmund when he's in a great position there and he's building something there?
Money
talks. That's what I've always
money
seen.
Talks. And if you throw enough money at the situation, hey.
I don't think so.
In this case, right, to salvage this, I say one thing.
Klopp,
I say one thing to the Man United board. Whoever you think is going to be worth it, and personally, I think Klopp would be worth it. Mm-hmm. You do whatever it takes. You do whatever it takes.
By any means necessary.
We are the next. No, but you make sure you go out and get the guy that you really want. And going up with a long-term plan, I honestly think he's the best guy for it. Now, short-term, and if everybody's in play and everybody's available, my guy's Jose Mourinho. He is. I'm sorry. Like, I really don't see how you go and oh my goodness. Stop it. This guy. No.
I've got a plan.
I know you got a plan. I'm just not looking forward to it at all.
I've got a plan.
I'm not looking forward to it at all. That's all I'm saying.
Because you were talking about getting the manager that you really, really want. Yeah. So it's a case of with United, it is definitely it is one of them ones.
Really want is it? Really want. So tell me what you want.
Who you really want?
I'll tell you what I want.
Who I really want?
So tell me what you want.
Who you really want? I want a manager that won't get sacked after 10 months.
For real.
If you want to manage United, you better not flop. If you want to get that job, better make it fast. Now I'm going to be wasting my team's time. Together, or you'll be out the door.
Wow.
That's the song that encapsulates Gezzie's feelings.
Can we just throw this to the Skype and then move on to international continental, please? I can't.
That's
believe
Gezzie's feelings on the situation.
I can't believe that. That is curveball right down the middle. Strike 3.
Can you tell that I don't plan any of this? It's one of them ones. I don't plan any of this.
And you know what? Actually,
if I was to plan that, I'd have to fire my right.
Actually, you know what? As soon as I'm done, right, I have a song for you to cue up.
What's that?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, we can't cue that up yet because we've got some of the Skypers who want to talk about it. Tom Wood, you want to jump in on the Moyes sacking?
I'm just saying this. As soon as he's done, you're queuing it up. Because I don't want to talk about it. No, I don't want to talk about it.
This is one that was. Go on, Tom, have at it.
Yeah, I was going to say that I wasn't too surprised that they would have sacked Moyes. I thought I was going to give him it to the end of the season. Obviously not. But if I was the owner of Man United, I would bring in somebody who's got experience and who knows the players well. But there's no one out there other than less than Ferguson. But Ferguson will come back. But I wouldn't mind fake Rijkaard or Ruud Gullit.
Rijkaard's an interesting one because he's been kind of AWOL. Ruud Gullit, I think, has been out of the game for a bit too long. So
I would say Ruud Gullit can stay being a pundit.
Yeah.
And I mean,
or Carlo Ancelotti. I wouldn't mind him.
But then is he going to leave Madrid? I don't think he will.
And if he gets La Decima, I would say there's literally no point. Because the dude goes down in folklore anyway.
I mean, it's one of them was for Man United fans at the moment with the Moyes thing. Maybe it's a case of this season. It's been all season. It's been a case of. I support United. I support Man United. As Gezzie does. Gezzie. No, that's your feelings.
That's my theme song for the whole season.
You don't wanna.
It's my theme song for the season.
You don't gotta.
Although I like how we got Canadian there with it, a boot.
We went out the boot again and again in our full Falcon. But no, it's one of them. The fact of the matter is that. All right.